A couple viewers requested that I review Strikehold CLP. I've reviewed several CLPs and I try to be consistent with the performance tests that I perform. I'll leave a link to my CLP test playlist at the end of the video. In my opinion, if a CLP claims to be a do-it-all cleaner, lubricant, and protectant, it should be able to dissolve burnt powder as well as good old Hoppy's No. 9. As usual, I sanded a piece of mild steel flat stock down to 400 grit, cleaned it with brake cleaner, and separated it into 3 sections. I lit off roughly equal amounts of gunpowder in each section. I used Hogden's tight group. Here's close-up photos of each section. I applied a liberal amount of each product. And waited 5 minutes. I used a clean brass brush and a clean patch on the Hoppy's No. 9 section. I cleaned the brass brush with brake cleaner before using it and a new patch on the Strikehold section. I let the third section with Strikehold soak for a total of 30 minutes. Then I brushed and wiped it with another clean patch. Here's close-up photos of each section. The section that soaked for 30 minutes actually seemed worse than the one that soaked for 5 minutes. I suspect this was because the brass brush was removing the burnt powder and not the Strikehold. I must have brushed a little harder on the 5-minute section. Next up was the saltwater spray test. I dissolved 1 teaspoon of non-iodized salt into 1 cup of warm water. I sanded the steel flat back down to 400 grit and cleaned it with brake cleaner. I like to use WD-40 for comparison in this test because everyone has experience with it, and a CLP should protect at least as well as good old WD-40. I sprayed some WD-40 on a clean patch and applied an even film to the section. Then I sprayed some Strikehold on another clean patch and applied an even film. I left the center section untreated. I did my best to coat each section evenly with the salt spray. Here's close-up photos of each section just after spraying. I waited 24 hours. The salt crystallized on the WD-40 section, but I did not observe any corrosion. There was significant corrosion present on the untreated section. The Strikehold section looks similar to the WD-40 section with no observed corrosion. Strikehold performed as well as these other CLPs. They all passed my salt spray test, but were not able to dissolve burnt powder as well as a dedicated powder solvent like Hoppy's No. 9. These 3 CLPs are the only ones that I've tested that have dissolved burnt powder on par with Hoppy's No. 9. Let me know in the comments if you want to see a powder solvent showdown with these 3 CLPs. I hope this review was helpful. Thanks for watching.